Finally, after all this time, I am here.
Now it's time to fight.
Fight? I'm actually here to rank you, because that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Taking a look at every final boss in 2D mainline Mario history and put them in a tier list ranking from Superstar down to what in the Mushroom Kingdom.
That doesn't sound too bad. Where are you?
Surprise! So without further ado,
Let's go!
Super Mario Bros. Okay, who doesn't know this fight? You've basically seen the entire fight in the intro already, except for that the character you're normally playing as is way more handsome than me. Mario. The fight is a classic. Super basic though, but not too bad for a game that got released in 1985. Bowser throws hammers at you, you need to jump over him or sneak under him, and that's the entire fight. Okay, but it works. Compared to the other bosses that are yet to come in this video, it's obviously not the best one, but still, it's alright. Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels. Lost Levels should be quite similar to Super Mario Bros., right? Right. But how to get through there? Oh. That's way too anticlimactic for a game like Lost Levels, where you would be sweating only to get through the first world. Just like in a lot of older Mario games, you can also just damage boost through him, which maybe makes it even more anticlimactic. I don't have a lot more to say about this, to be fair. What in the Mushroom Kingdom? Super Mario Bros. 2. Super Mario Bros. 2 is the only home console release on today's list where the final boss is not Bowser, but a random frog, Wart. Wart, not to be mistaken with Wart Jr. from Animal Crossing, shoots bubbles at us that we need to dodge, and our goal is to feed him with 6 vegetables, and then, well, he dies. Kind of what I thought would happen to me back in the day when my mom forced me to eat broccoli, so kinda relatable, Wart. The design of the fight, the actual difficulty, and the change of style with this game in general makes this fight actually pretty good and interesting in my opinion, so Wart, you're almost there. Super Mario Bros. 3. A game that is that well known for changing the genre of 2D platformers has to have an amazing boss fight, right? Surprise, it doesn't. The Super Mario Bros. 3 boss fight might be the most boring fight of today's list. You wait and boom. You wait and boom. You wait and boom. Bowser's literally almost never a threat, except for maybe these fireballs. His design is, well, it's designing, I guess. And after playing a game that has probably the hardest World 8 in any Mario game ever, that fight is a bit lame. I'm sorry Bowser, but this is the first boring of today's list. Super Mario Land. The final boss fight of Super Mario Land might be the first time that I actually appreciate a troll by Nintendo. It's not a, oh surprise, there's another Bowser fight after this one. Not a, this wasn't the last level troll. No, there's literally a brand new boss spawning out of nowhere after defeating the first one. And it's creative. But let's start with the first one. The first one of the final bosses we need to fight is this cloud full of chickens, and we make some chicken wings. It's quite easy I'd say, but also quite fun. The lore behind the boss is actually even more interesting than the fight, because the cloud has a name. Biokinton. I hope I said that right. And the cool part about it is that he's not the cloud, but he's a creature hiding in the cloud, and we never see his true appearance. That's some lore for a 30 seconds fight, to be fair. After beating Biokinton, the true final boss of the game appears, Tatanga. And that fight is absolutely no joke. You need to dodge his cannonballs while you are shooting bullets at him yourself, and it's no joke. But I mean, it's a final boss, so that's how it should be. So I'd say, almost there. Super Mario World. If there's one thing that the amazing and legendary Super Mario World struggles with, it's the boss fights. None of them really feel too difficult or super creative, but the best one of them actually has to be the final boss fight. Bowser sits in his big flying smiling toilet bowl and throws Mecha Koopas at us that we need to dodge and throw back at him. Take this. We need to dodge balls and dodge flames, and Peach shows up from time to time, pretending like she would be helping us. Yeah, you ain't doing nothing like always. Don't get me wrong, it's alright, especially for the time it got released, and the difficulty is a bit better than some of the other fights on the list so far, but from nowadays perspective, there's a lot of better ones that are yet to come on today's list. So, it's alright. Super Mario Land 2. I can't do it differently. Superstar. Maybe I'm a bit biased, because Wario is my favorite Mario character of all time, and he makes his first appearance here, but the fight is actually awesome. The entire last level is absolutely crazy and super difficult, and there's no checkpoints, so dying against Wario is no option if you don't want to spend another 30 minutes in that level. And when you finally get to him after all the struggles you've been through, the fight is wild. Wario runs around like a madman, uses the same items as Mario, and uses them against us, and this pattern got me panicking from time to time for sure. That the boss takes items for his own advantage is really creative for a 1992 released handheld game and for the limitations of the Game Boy. So well deserved spot on the top of the list so far, for sure. Yoshi's Island. I mean, we're fighting against Baby Bowser, like how difficult can it be? Whoa. Well, let's start from the beginning. First, the fight starts like a classic modern Nintendo boss fight. You get an easy fight where you can just feel something is off, and this might be a bit too easy for the final boss fight, and then the screen fades to black and it appears. Oh, look at that. That's not what I meant, but while we are already here, like, if you enjoyed this video so far, please consider to like and subscribe. Bro, continue with the video. Okay. So after the screen fades to black, surprise, a second way more difficult fight appears. The way Baby Bowser appears in the back is absolutely insane, the difficulty is perfect for the end of the game, and the fact that it's not a horizontal 2D dimensional fight, but you have to shoot Axe in the background and need to dodge flames shot by Bowser that also come from the background is absolutely brilliant. With that, the fight adds like a third dimension depth to it, and that's just absolutely incredible for a SNES game. Kinda reminds me of the snowman fight from Donkey Kong Country 3. Yo, that gave me the struggles. Another superstar, and the best fight so far, for real. New Super Mario Bros. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know that I'm absolutely in love with that game. But what about the final boss? The final boss of this game can be seen in two different ways. First, the intentional way of fighting the boss. Then the fight is awesome, really difficult, and most definitely worth a final boss of a legendary game. We fight Bowser and his son at the same time, and the moment we defeat Bowser Jr., Bowser even gets a little bit angrier, and that's super cool character development right there, and adds a tiny bit of personality to Bowser in this game. So far so good, right? But there's another way to defeat the boss. The Mega Mushroom. The fact that it's even possible to beat Bowser like that was always ridiculous to me. They should have simply not allowed to use any items in this fight, otherwise it's way too easy and totally breaks the entire concept of the fight. And because of that, I'd say that the fight is only in, it's alright, without the Mega Mushroom way higher up in the list, for real. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. We got a troll fight at the start again. Yes, they are very creative at the Nintendo headquarters.
But they make up for it with the second part of the fight.
Because the first part is basic. The second part is not. When I think of Super Mario final boss fights, this fight is the first one that comes to my mind for sure. The chasing scene has to be one of the most legendary and mesmerizing moments of the entire Wii era, and one of my favorite video game memories of my childhood. It actually ain't too difficult from nowadays perspective, but as a kid that fight gave me the struggles for real, and I was so happy when I did finally beat it. It would be a shame if I would do it otherwise. Superstar. New Super Mario Bros. 2. Yes, the first part is the same as always, and it's not funny anymore, but they changed one part about it, which I really appreciate. Bowser throws hammers, and that's something he hasn't done for over 25 years at that point, so that's a nice homage to the origins of the franchise. The second part of the fight is actually not a fight, but only dodging Bowser's attacks. And that's a nice change of pace in my eyes, and a super fun fight, even though it might be not the most difficult. I never thought that this moment right here would come, right? Ever, like in making ranking videos, but New Super Mario Bros. 2 gets into the highest tier. Superstar. New Super Mario Bros. U. The fight starts like... Okay, that's enough now. They're just trying to get us angry, right? I could have shown y'all the last fight, or the one before that, and you all would have believed me that this is the fight of New Super Mario Bros. U. Nintendo released almost the exact same start for a boss fight, 3 times in a row. Did the entire development department for the boss fights called in sick every time they needed to hand the final product in, or what? Okay, but let's calm down for a little bit right now, because the second part of the fight is actually something we haven't seen before, so far. It's a double fight against Bowser and his son again, like on the DS, but a lot different, luckily. Otherwise I would have probably lost my mind. We get to fly in Bowser Jr.'s toilet, aka the clown card, and hit Bowser on the hat with it. I mean, ceramic on the hat? Yep, that does hurt. I actually really like this part of the fight, but it's worth noting that it's still pretty forgettable. A lot of the fights on the list are legendary and super epic, but this right here is just kinda existing, you know? It's almost alright, but I'd say boring at that point in the Mario timeline. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Finally, they changed it up. I'm about to cry. But what is this? A rhythm-based boss fight? Yes, and I'm all here for that. There's just so much happening during this fight. A lot of different phases. Yes, I'd say at some parts some inspiration from other games like Mario vs. Donkey Kong, but I don't care. It's new for the Super Mario Bros. Franchise, and that's all that matters to me. Time your jumps right, hit the button, dodge a lot of stuff, and that's it. Well, it's easier said to be done, but yeah. And these no piranha plants make their first and only appearance in the entire Mario franchise in this fight, so they actually went all out for this one. The fight is finally different from everything else we've seen so far, and the design, the creativity, and the difficulty is perfect for a game called Mario Wonder. It's still not my favorite fight of today's list, but definitely deserves a spot at the top of the almost there tier. And that's the ranking for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Let me know your rankings in the comments, your video ideas, and until the next video, God bless y'all. Stay healthy. Bye.